Judy Woodruff on the NewsHour tonight.
We have to win. We have to start winning wars again.
President Trump calls for a budget significantly boosting money to the military with deep cuts to domestic spending. Then the Republican chair of the House Intelligence Committee says he's seen no evidence of contact between the Trump campaign and Russian intelligence officials. And hospitals brace for big changes in health coverage as Republicans work to unravel the Affordable Care Act.
We have spent the last 6 years gearing up towards everything that we were responsible for doing in the ACA, and the idea of we might have to totally go a different direction, or how will we do that? It's going to take a lot of work.
All that and more on tonight's PBS NewsHour.
Major funding for the PBS NewsHour has been provided by
moving our economy for 160 years. BNSF, the engine that connects us.
XQ Institute.
The William and Flora Hewlett Foundation, helping people build measurably better lives.
Supported by the Rockefeller Foundation, promoting the well-being of humanity around the world by building resilience and inclusive economies. More at RockefellerFoundation.org. And with the ongoing support of these individuals and institutions. This program was made possible by the Corporation for Public Broadcasting and by contributions to your PBS station from viewers like you. Thank you.
More for defense, less for most domestic programs. That's the message from the White House as it works up a spending blueprint for the coming year. John Yang begins our coverage from the White House.
Meeting with the nation's governors today, President Trump outlined a spending plan to fulfill his campaign promise to dramatically beef up the Pentagon.
This budget will be a public safety and national security budget, and it will include a historic increase in defense spending to rebuild the depleted military of the United States of America at a time we most need it.
The president wants to hike defense spending 10% to $603 billion for the budget year beginning October 1st. Budget officials said Mr. Trump will also seek increases for law enforcement and first responders and money for the border wall.
We're going to do more with less and make the government lean and accountable to the people. We can do so much more with the money we spend. With the $20 trillion in debt, can you imagine that? The government must learn to tighten its belt, something families all across the country have had to learn to do, unfortunately.
To avoid adding to the deficit, Mr. Trump wants to cut domestic spending by the same $54 billion he wants to boost military spending. Officials said virtually every federal agency will see cuts along with major reductions in foreign aid. White House Budget Director Mick Mulvaney.
Yes, it's a fairly small part of the discretionary budget, but it's still consistent with what the president said. When you see these reductions, you'll be able to tie it back to a speech the president gave or something the president has said previously.
Budget officials said proposals for taxes and entitlement programs like Social Security and Medicare will come later.
Nobody knew that health care could be so complicated.
Mr. Trump also talked to the governors and later with top health insurance executives about repealing and replacing the Affordable Care Act.
We must work together to save Americans from Obamacare, and people know that, and everyone knows that at this point, to create more competition and to bring down the prices substantially.
That was echoed by Republican governors like Rick Snyder of Michigan.
This is a time for reform, to broaden the issue from beyond coverage to how do we do better quality, better cost containment for the long term, and ultimately it's about compassion. We're talking real people here.
Democrats, led by National Governors Association Chairman Terry McAuliffe of Virginia, warned that ending Obamacare would create major funding gaps for Medicaid.
At this point, we have not been provided any information that we want other than we want everybody to have health care. We want to make it accessible and affordable to all. The devil is in the details. I think the rhetoric of the campaign has hit the reality of governing.
The president promised his address to Congress tomorrow night would include a big statement on rebuilding the nation's roads and bridges. White House Press Secretary Sean Spicer said the president would talk about solving real problems for real Americans, like creating jobs and ending urban violence. In addition to that 10% increase for Pentagon spending next year, senior administration officials say that Mr. Trump will ask for $30 billion more for the Pentagon in this budget year. It's not clear yet how they're going to pay for that. Judy?
Well, John, that was my question. What are they saying about, $30 billion is not chump change. Where are they going to come up with that?
Well, it's not only that. They're also in this supplemental appropriation request going to ask for money for that first down payment to start building the border wall with Mexico. If they don't want to add to the deficit, which they say they won't, and also to the national debt, they're going to have to find offsetting cuts somewhere else because the president says he's not raising taxes.
And just quickly, John, we know there were, as you just reported, concerns among Democratic governors about the changes to Obamacare. But over the weekend, there were concerns expressed by Republicans, too.
That's right. This is one of those complications that the president talked about. A number of Republican governors like John Kasich of Ohio used Obamacare money to expand Medicaid coverage. Medicaid, the program that takes care of health care for the needy. In Ohio, he added 525,000 uninsured people to the Medicaid rolls. If the Medicaid money goes away, they're going to either have to find the money elsewhere or start pushing people off Medicaid rolls, neither of which is very politically palatable.
All right. John Yang reporting for us from the White House. Thank you. And in the day's other news, the Senate moved to confirm the president's nominee for Commerce Secretary. Billionaire investor Wilbur Ross has said the administration will work quickly to redo NAFTA, the North American Free Trade Agreement. Meanwhile, the nominee for Navy Secretary, Philip Bilden, withdrew last night. He cited trouble in separating from his business interests. The Army Secretary nominee, Vincent Viola, withdrew earlier this month over similar issues. More bomb threats were called in today to Jewish community centers and day schools in at least 12 states. All appeared to be hoaxes. The threats follow the weekend destruction of more than 100 headstones at a Jewish cemetery in Philadelphia. Interfaith leaders in that city called today for unity.
Every time we are attacked by hate, in the cemetery or beyond, we come together in solidarity. We will not only defend our particular group, too many are vulnerable.
A White House spokesman said President Trump condemns the vandalism and bomb threats, quote, in the strongest terms. In the Philippines, the military confirmed today that Islamist militants linked to the Islamic State group have beheaded a German captive. Abu Sayyaf had been holding the 70-year-old hostage on a southern island since last fall. They demanded $600,000, but the ransom deadline passed Sunday without payment. Dozens of shops were ransacked overnight in Johannesburg, South Africa, the latest in a wave of violence apparently aimed at immigrants. There's been similar looting in Pretoria this month. On Friday, hundreds of anti-immigrant protesters marched in Pretoria, this amid claims that foreigners are fomenting crime and taking jobs from locals. Back in this country, theft of opioid drugs has become a major problem at veterans hospitals. The Associated Press reports more than 11,000 cases since 2010, but it says that VA staffers were disciplined in only 3% of those cases. A top VA official, Dr. Carolyn Clancy, told a House hearing today that most of the missing medicine is being lost in the mail. Republican Neil Dunn of Florida was incredulous.
And somewhere between once the VA has the drug and the VA passes it off to another part of the VA, the drugs are being diverted. Is that the system?
No, this is outside the VHA system.
So I have to tell you, I've 35 years, I've never heard this kind of accusation.
Clancy did say that the department is adding inspectors and expanding employee drug testing. Japanese airbag maker Takata pleaded guilty to a federal criminal charge today in Detroit. The company also agreed to pay $1 billion over faulty inflators. They are blamed for at least 16 deaths and 180 injuries worldwide. Meanwhile, in Miami, plaintiffs in dozens of lawsuits charged that Takata and 5 automakers knew the inflators were dangerous but kept using them because they were cheaper. On Wall Street today, stocks had a relatively quiet time, but the Dow Jones Industrial Average did hit a record close for the 12th session in a row. It gained 15 points to close at 20,837. The Nasdaq rose 16 and the S&P 500 added 2. And they are still trying to figure out what caused a mix-up for the ages at the Oscars last night. Presenters Warren Beatty and Faye Dunaway mistakenly announced La La Land as the Best Picture winner after being given the wrong envelope. Moments later, word came that Moonlight was the actual winner. PwC, the company responsible for tabulating the vote results, says it's investigating just what happened. Still to come on the NewsHour, Congress grapples with questions over whether an investigation into the Trump administration's ties to Russia has been tainted. Hospitals brace for big losses if Obamacare is repealed. A look at the Democrats' choice for a new party chair with our Politics Monday duo, and much more. We turn our focus now to claims that the Trump presidential campaign was in contact with Russian intelligence officials and new concerns over how they should be investigated.
We still have not seen any evidence of anyone that from the Trump campaign, or any other campaign for that matter, that's communicated with the Russian government.
House Intelligence Chair Devin Nunes met reporters this morning and responded to questions over his committee's investigation into whether President Trump's associates had ties to Russia during the presidential campaign or after. Nunes drew criticism after a Washington Post article revealed that he agreed to talk to a reporter at the White House's request about a New York Times story that alleged Trump associates spoke with Russian intelligence.
That story was a little odd, I thought, because if you asked me to contact the White House and said, hey, could you set me up with somebody at DOD or the intelligence agencies, I would say sure.
CIA Director Mike Pompeo and Senator Richard Burr, chair of the Senate Intelligence Committee, were also reported to have been contacted by the White House press secretary to make calls about the story. Nunes acknowledged the investigation was ongoing, but said he wanted to be careful not to jump into a witch hunt, comparing it to the Red Scare of the 1950s.
We can't have McCarthyism back in this place. We can't have the government, the U.S. government, or the Congress, legislative branch of government, chasing down American citizens, hauling them before the Congress as if they're some secret Russian agents.
At the White House, spokesman Sean Spicer defended his request to CIA Director Pompeo and the Congressional Intelligence Committee chairs, and, echoing Nunes, declared there was no story.
We've heard the same people, the same anecdotes, and we've heard reports over and over again. And as Chairman Nunes made very clear today, he has seen nothing that corroborates that. So at what point you've got to ask yourself, what are you investigating?
Among those still not convinced, former President George W. Bush, who told NBC's Today Show that the questions about links to Russia need to be answered. Amid growing calls for an independent investigation into Russia's attempts to influence the U.S. election, I spoke earlier with Senator Mark Warner, Vice Chairman of the Senate Intelligence Committee. I asked for his reaction to the White House enlisting U.S. intelligence community leaders and Congressional Intelligence Committee chairs to help counter news stories about the Trump campaign's contacts with Russian officials.
Well, my reaction was grave concern and an awful lot of frustration. We are at the early stages of our investigation. We have bipartisan Intelligence Committee staff today working over reviewing basic intelligence. We've been at this now for a couple of weeks. We're making progress. For anyone to try to interfere at this early stage of an investigation just makes no sense. Let's take for a moment, even if the White House's position was correct, by asking these figures to interfere in lobby, they then potentially color the results of this investigation. I have no idea why they would try to interfere at this point when this investigation is ongoing. The good news is, Judy, though, that we have heard over the last couple of days from a number of members of the committee, Democrats and Republicans alike, folks like Senator Rubio and Senator Collins, who have all said very strongly they intend to continue to support an investigation that's bipartisan, that will follow the facts wherever they may lead, that won't allow outside interference like the White House and others. And as long as we've got a strong majority of the committee that's committed to that process, I still think we're the best place and best forum to go forward.
Well, what the White House Press Secretary Sean Spicer said today, Senator, was he said this was simply in response to requests from these reporters. The reporters were asking for the White House version. The White House said in order to give you any corroboration, it was the only way they could do that was to send them to these other officials.
One of the things about an Intelligence Committee investigation is that you don't talk about the ongoing processes before you have a finished product. We're really still at the early stages. There is enormous amounts of information that has to be gone through. We've seen massive Russian intervention in the election. We've seen hacking. We've seen a number of indications of individuals affiliated with Mr. Trump who've had contacts with Russian officials. We need to find the extent of those contacts, the content of those contacts. So somehow asking folks to interfere on a press story before this investigation is completed, to me is both inappropriate, improper, and frankly weakens the White House's case dramatically.
Well, Senator, that sounds different from what Devin Nunes, who's the House Intelligence Committee chair, said today. He said there is no evidence that he knows of now of any contacts between the Trump campaign and Russian intelligence officials.
Listen, Judy, the one thing I think that has been made clear is that there are ongoing investigations. Anyone that jumps to a conclusion while there are ongoing investigations and tries to make a definitive fact and definitive statement, I think, does a great disservice to the American people. There is nothing more important than when we've got the potential of a foreign nation not only interfering in our election process, but Lord knows what else.
Well, two other quick things. Chairman Nunes went on to say that this should not become a witch hunt. Is that a legitimate concern here?
Listen, what the chairman of the House has done by trying to interfere in the investigation really raises huge concerns. As somebody who has to go back and continue to make the case to my Democratic colleagues that this investigation is going to be done straight up in an honest and straightforward way, obviously Chairman Nunes's actions don't help that cause. And and if this ends up defaulting into some kind of partisan food fight, at the end of the day, what happens is the American public don't get the answers they deserve. And I've said from the outset, Judy, there's nothing I've done in my Senate career that's more important than this investigation. It has to be done right, it has to be done bipartisan, and it has to follow the facts wherever they lead. And when you've got particularly an administration like this one, which has, unfortunately in the president, disrespected the intelligence community so many times during the campaign, it's more important than ever that the intelligence community feels that there's somebody that's got their back and that they can do their job in an honest and truthful way.
Well, Senator, your Democratic colleague in the Senate, Senator Dick Durbin, is saying there needs to be an outside independent commission looking into it.
If I find that we can't get access to the information we need, yes, I'll be willing to call for that. But let's remember, if we were to pass an independent commission, it would require passage of the House, passage of the Senate, and a signature by this president. Who would to say that that independent commission would truly be independent? It would also take that commission literally months to get up to speed. We have people working today in a bipartisan fashion trying to get the facts to get to the bottom of this. I think the American public deserve answers sooner than later, and my fear is the independent commission, one, would it truly be independent? Would it truly get passed and be signed by this president? And then it would take literally months to get it set up and established. I think as long as we can continue to do this with the majority of the Intelligence Committee committed to doing this bipartisan, independent, and making sure we get the facts, this is still the way to go.
Senator Mark Warner, the Vice Chair of the Senate Intelligence Committee, we thank you.
Thank you, Judy.
And for the record, we reached out to every Republican member of the Senate Intelligence Committee. They either declined or did not respond to our request. Now, more on Russian and U.S. actions that led us to this moment. That's the subject of a lengthy article in this week's New Yorker magazine. And to William Brangham.
So what is known and not known about Russia's involvement in our recent election? I'm joined now by Evan Osnos. He's a staff writer at The New Yorker and one of the authors of Active Measures, a deep look into Russia's actions. That's in the latest edition of the magazine. And I'm also joined by John Sipher. He spent 28 years in the CIA's clandestine service, including assignments in Russia and Eastern Europe. He's now at a consulting company called Crosslead. Welcome to you both.
Thank you.
So Evan Osnos, really a wonderful primer in The New Yorker that you wrote and several of your colleagues. Can you just bring us up to speed? What do we know, what don't we know about Russia's involvement in the election?
Sure, yeah. This story, which was a collaboration with David Remnick and Josh Yaffa in Moscow, was an attempt to say, let's clarify exactly what we have learned, because this is an extraordinary moment. We now know that 3 things happened. The first thing is that, as you know, the DNC was hacked. John Podesta's email was hacked. That's the one Americans, I think, know the most about. Second thing is that we also know that there was an influence campaign, an attempt to really change what it is that people believed about the candidates. The Director of National Intelligence has said that this occurred. It's not a fake news is a term that's now become politicized in its own way. But from the intelligence community's perspective, this is a known fact. And then the third piece, and this is the one that I think we're at the stage now of trying to learn more about, is whether or not and to what degree there were contacts between Russian representatives and elements perhaps of Trump's campaign, his advisors, or his associates. And that's really where the center of gravity is moving in the investigation.
John Sipher, you spent a quarter century in the CIA. Do all of those allegations against the Russians and their involvement, do those all ring true to you?
Oh, absolutely. The Russians have been doing this for decades, if not hundreds of years. This is what they do. What's interesting about this is what fertile soil it took place on. The fact that these type of things, some of it quite sloppy and open, actually caused the problems they did for us.
Do you mean fertile soil here in the United States?
I do. The fact that they were able to break in and steal DNC emails and take advantage of that, I'm surprised at the effect that had. I think it's unusual that you had a campaign that was able to use that and spin that up and deal with the Russian service here. What I find interesting is that there's a lot of concern at the Trump campaign was saying they did not have improper contact with Russians during the campaign. And my question would be, what is proper contact? Did they have contacts with Germans, Indians, Japanese? Why with Russians? Why would a campaign in the United States need to have any contact with Russians?
I mean, there could be innocent explanations. If members of the Trump campaign or his entourage were talking with Russians, couldn't there be innocent explanations for those?
Well, I think that's the reason why we need now a robust, independent, and thorough investigation. We decided as an institution that we needed to understand this as best we could. We interviewed dozens of people. We spent months on this. And I consider it the very beginning of chapter 1. We are now in a position where the legislative branch, the executive branch, has the ability to go out and say, well, what was the full universe of contacts? What were the nature of those contacts? And were they serving the American public? And do we know everything we can? Because, look, we did that for 9/11. We established a bipartisan independent commission composed of 5 Republicans and 5 Democrats. And as a result, we know a huge amount about what happened. We don't know that yet about this event. And I think we're really at the stage where we're trying to decide what are the right investigative tools and who's going to do it.
John, let's just say that the evidence bears out that the Russians really were trying to put their thumb on the scale here. Mm-hmm. What were their ambitions, in your sense? What would they be trying to do here?
This isn't much of a surprise. Vladimir Putin's interests have always been to divide the United States from Europe. He has a zero-sum view of working with the United States. So anything that causes chaos or creates problems here is a win for him. We see the same thing happening now in France, Germany, the Balkans. He's even working with the Taliban in Afghanistan. So this is the kind of thing that they do. Their goal is to essentially create fissures in our alliances, anything that creates chaos and tries to provide some sort of moral equivalence between his regime and the West. He likes to say that, oh, this is no different than you guys messing around in Libya and Egypt and Syria and those type of things.
You know, one of the things that surprised for me in the course of this work was to discover, in effect, that the United States was susceptible to this kind of operation. You know, I spoke to people who used to work on this in the State Department who said a couple of years ago, we were worried that Moldova, for instance, would be vulnerable to this kind of interference.
Little teeny Moldova.
Exactly. And so, in a sense, the agents behind this operation, and that's really what this was, it was an intelligence operation, discovered that our politics were so divided. People were already open to, a highly kind of propagandistic form of political communication, that we were a prime target, in effect, a soft target for this kind of influence operation.
One of the things I was struck by in your article is that you wrote towards the end of your piece where you described how some of the intelligence agents think that this was more of an improvisation on behalf of the Russians, not a sort of strategic campaign. Can you explain the distinction there?
Well, speaking broadly about sort of the impression that people have who are focused on this issue is that, there's one way to think of it. If you look at this dossier of unverified claims that was submitted earlier to the FBI and was then presented to the president, one of the claims in there was that this was a long-standing 5-, 6-, 7-year operation to cultivate Donald Trump. I think at the moment what you find is that more people who are focused on this issue are inclined to believe that this was an improvisation that was changing. There were elements that were brought in at different points, meaning it may have started as a hacking operation, it may have started as an influence operation. But the idea that this started 6, 7 years ago with a discrete, fully formed plan with a clear objective is hard to defend at this point. And I think that's one of the reasons why we need to learn more, because we don't know exactly when and how it started.
Why would the Russians have been interested in Donald Trump back then? Because then he was a reality TV star. He had no intention, seemingly, of running for office.
I don't know that they did. I don't think we have that information if they were particularly interested in him. They certainly do collect on any American of interest who visits Russia. The notion that they would have videotapes in hotel rooms or follow people around or try to collect compromising information on people, this is what they do.
John, how does what we're seeing today compare to what the Soviets used to do back in the USSR?
What they're doing now is very similar to what they did before. They just have new tools. They have Mr. Snowden, who gives them a lot of information about the kind of things we have and where to attack. And they have some really talented computer programmers and hackers there in Russia that...
And the internet more broadly.
Right, exactly.
All right, Evan Osnos, John Sipher, thank you both very much.
Thank you.
Glad to be here.
Now, what hospitals think about the possible costs of repealing and replacing the health care law. Efforts by President Trump and congressional Republicans to unravel the Affordable Care Act are unnerving many hospital executives. They say they're worried about big changes to their bottom line, particularly after they overhauled how care is delivered in response to the health law's rewards and penalties. While Republicans try to figure out their game plan, special correspondent Sarah Varney reports on how hospitals are bracing for the unknown. This story was produced in collaboration with our partner, Kaiser Health News.
Driving to work amid the barren winter fields in northern Illinois, Kathy Chapman is worried about the future. She lost her job after a nearby rural hospital closed.
I was really lucky. I found another great hospital to work in with a wonderful group of people who deliver high-quality care, but not everyone was as lucky.
And as Republicans work to dismantle the Affordable Care Act, she wonders if it might happen again. Now she runs the pharmacy at Perry Memorial in Princeton, Illinois, and she's watching the Republicans' repeal efforts warily.
I think everybody who works in healthcare now feels a little uneasy. Even if you're at a large, profitable hospital, we don't know what's coming around the corner and how it will affect us.
Rural hospitals have long struggled to stay open. They have far fewer patients and thin margins. Dozens have closed across the country in recent years, mostly in states that didn't expand Medicaid.
Good, thank you. I do, Dr. Benucci. Okay.
But in Illinois, which did extend Medicaid to nearly all poor adults, patients at Perry Memorial have gained coverage under the Affordable Care Act, and many hospitals have found firmer footing.
I've not seen it since you guys have it installed and got to start using it yet.
But Annette Schnabel, the hospital's CEO, says if large numbers of people lose their insurance under the Republicans' replacement, the hospital's finances and its patients would be at risk, especially after the hospital has invested so much money and time in complying with the health law.
We have spent the last 6 years gearing up towards everything that we were responsible for doing in the ACA, and the idea of we might have to totally go a different direction, or how will we do that? It's going to take a lot of work. There's a lot of effort that's going into this.
And for some hospitals to survive or break even, it will require Congress to restore billions of dollars in funding that kept hospitals afloat before the law took effect.
Hospitals made a high-stakes trade when they signed on to the Affordable Care Act. They agreed to massive cuts in federal aid that defrayed the cost of caring for the uninsured. In exchange, they would gain tens of millions of newly insured customers. Now that deal is in jeopardy, and hospital executives are anxiously waiting to see what comes next.
Stroger Hospital of Cook County in Chicago is one of the busiest hospitals in the nation. Its emergency and trauma teams have inspired shows like ER and Chicago Med and handle most of the city's gunshot victims. The vast majority of patients here used to be uninsured, and the county-run hospitals struggle to take care of all of their medical and mental health needs. Those patients now have Medicaid coverage because of the Affordable Care Act, and the Cook County Hospital System has gained $200 million in new revenue to cover their services, breaking even for the first time ever.
We have no interest in slipping back in what we've been able to do. We've got 15 gunshot victims in the unit right now.
Dr. Jay Shannon is CEO of the Cook County Health and Hospitals System.
We're not able to do the kind of work that we do today with goodwill alone. Our staff are not a volunteer staff. We can't get IV fluids and medical equipment on credit and a wink and a nod.
Two hospital trade groups, the American Hospital Association and the Federation of American Hospitals, have warned of, quote, an unprecedented public health crisis if the law is hastily scuttled. They say if Congress repeals the law entirely and 20 million people are kicked off their insurance, hospitals will lose $166 billion in Medicaid payments alone in the next decade, and face much steeper losses if certain Medicare cuts that were part of the law aren't restored. In Chicago, limo driver Gerald Exxon is one of those patients who could lose coverage and have his hospital bills once again go unpaid. As of now, the hospital helps enroll low-income adults like Exxon into Medicaid. In 2014, he was shot nearly a dozen times in a case of mistaken identity. His medical care is covered now, and the hospital can provide follow-up surgeries, physical therapy, and mental health treatment that were often off-limits to the uninsured.
How are you feeling today? I see you're kind of down.
I'm not as edgy when I'm like driving or out in public, around a lot of people.
Exxon sees clinical psychologist Natalia Ruiz to manage the after effects of gun violence.
I had the episode when I was driving that time and the little rock hit the window and it kind of sent me into a tailspin.
The health law also shifted the business model for U.S. hospitals. It offered them financial incentives to move away from expensive ER visits to primary care and managing chronic conditions.
Good morning. I have an appointment with Dr. Thomas.
Earl Williams Sr. has finally brought his diabetes under control. He's diligent about exercising, taking his medication, and seeing his doctor.
Hey. What's up, Doc?
How are you?
Doing all right, man.
All
How
right,
you
it's
doing,
good
man?
seeing you.
My sugars was in the 200s. They not from 80 to 120, where they supposed to be. Then it took some of the medication away because I have maintained through the teachings of my doctors and the staff here at Woodlawn Hospital.
Yeah, it was 2.9.
Before the Affordable Care Act, hospitals had little incentive to reduce ER visits, especially from Medicare patients who generate a lot of revenue.
How are you doing with your meds? Are you keeping up with the meds?
At University of Chicago Medicine, an academic medical center, Dr. Kenneth Polanski says if those incentives are rescinded and patients forego preventive care, they'll clog up already strained emergency rooms.
We'll go back to a very frustrating time where people had limited options for health care because of inability to get health insurance.
The uncertainty is also roiling county governments, which often fund medical care for the poor. The burden on local taxpayers to fund the Cook County health system has dropped by $300 million since the health law went into effect.
Is there anyone else who wishes to be noted as present?
President of the County Board of Commissioners, Tony Preckwinkle, says repealing the law could force local governments to raise taxes.
For us, it's a $300 million hole in our budget, so there aren't a lot of options other than raising more revenue. It's a nightmare for us.
She says the county and the country have been making progress, and repeal is a step backward. In Waukegan, Illinois, near the Wisconsin border,
what we're entering here is our new open heart surgery suite.
Vista Health Systems CEO Barbara Martin says with more insured patients and additional reimbursement from the health law, she's invested in new equipment and hired hundreds of new employees across Vista's 2 for-profit hospitals. She says if the 900,000 Illinois residents who gained insurance under the law lose coverage and hospital revenue drops suddenly, hospital executives estimate 95,000 jobs could be lost.
That could just be catastrophic to the state and catastrophic not to only Vista, to all hospitals across the country.
I don't know if it's coming out today or not.
But Edmund Heiselmeyer, a senior fellow at the Heritage Foundation, a conservative think tank, says U.S. taxpayers already spend too much on health care. Heiselmeyer, who was a member of President Trump's transition team on health policy, says communities and states and local governments shouldn't rely on hospitals to create new jobs and fill their budget holes.
Hospitals in particular have become economic development projects. If you're paying tax dollars for public program like Medicare and Medicaid, and you're paying private insurance premiums, this is all what makes healthcare unaffordable.
Mrs. Capito.
More than a dozen top Republican lawmakers declined to be interviewed for this story. But a spokesperson for Senator Lamar Alexander, chairman of the Senate Committee on Health, Education, Labor, and Pensions, said in a statement that he is listening to hospitals, doctors, patients, governors, and others as they draft the replacement plan.
I don't know if you're listening to the news at all.
Speaking of Affordable Care.
Right?
Back in Chicago, that all adds up to more questions for patients like Earl Williams.
Am I going to have insurance in a month or two?
Questions doctors are struggling to answer.
I'm going to give it to you straight, and that is, it's likely that it's going to change. It's not going to be the same.
With President Trump and congressional Republicans now saying a final replacement plan may not be ready until later this year,
but I don't want you worried about it, though.
The uncertainty is likely to linger. For the PBS NewsHour and Kaiser Health News, I'm Sarah Varney in Chicago.
Stay with us. Coming up on the NewsHour, reshaping our view of Africa and its central role in human civilization. But first, from the president's budget signals to a new Democratic Party leader, it's time for Politics Monday with Tamara Keith of NPR, and joining us tonight from Miami, Amy Walter of the Cook Political Report. Welcome to both of you. Happy Monday. So the White House is talking budgets and health care today. Amy, we're going to hear more about what the president has in mind in terms of their budget blueprint tomorrow. But essentially, they're talking big increases in defense, military spending, and big cuts in domestic discretionary spending. What are the political realities here?
Yeah, the president is trying to fulfill another one of his campaign pledges. We saw him earlier in his presidency talking about immigration, passing executive orders, and now wanting to pass legislation restricting immigration. Now we're getting to the part where he talked on the campaign trail of making sure that our defense, the spending is increased, and that we're going to cut budgets domestically. The question, of course, Judy, is how you do that without running up the deficit. His OMB director today said we can do this if we make those cuts on domestic spending. But the reality is it's going to be really tough, especially when you add into this discussion that the president also had today about increasing funding for infrastructure spending. And then, of course, how we're going to pay for that wall and all of those extra agents who are supposed to be patrolling the border. This is a party that for years talked about reducing the deficit, not spending more money than you have. This could be a big budget buster.
It's always tougher to execute these things than it is to talk about the outline of what you want to do.
Yes. Budgets, however, presidential budgets are vision documents. This is a vision document. This is not what Congress will ultimately end up voting on or putting into place. The other thing to point out is that the president wants to vastly increase defense spending and cut it from discretionary domestic spending, but there's actually a law in place right now that says you can't do that. It's the Budget Control Act of 2011. And so they would actually have to find a way around that law as well. So it's always a bit more complicated than it seems, and this is just a blueprint. This is very early in the process. Earlier in the process, usually the White House doesn't even talk about these kinds of things at this point in the process.
All right, so speaking of political realities, Amy, the Democrats chose a new party chair over the weekend. Tom Perez, he's the former labor secretary. Hard-fought contest. What does this say about the Democratic Party right now, and what do you look to Tom Perez to do?
Well, whoever was elected DNC chair was coming into a pretty rough position. Look, what's not talked about all that much is that despite the big loss for Democrats in 2016 of the White House, they've been losing seats, especially at the state legislative, governor's level, and of course at the congressional level, ever since President Obama was elected in 2009. So Tom Perez is coming into a deep, deep hole. The most important thing he can do, I know the candidates talked a lot about philosophy. We heard a lot during the campaign for DNC chair about this being a proxy between the Bernie Sanders, Elizabeth Warren wing and the Hillary Clinton wing. In reality, the number one challenge for Tom Perez or any DNC chairman is to get this party back to winning, especially at the legislative level. Remember, redistricting comes back up in 2020. If Democrats want any shot of getting control of Congress, getting a better map, if they want to be able to start controlling some of these state legislative bodies, they've got to start winning on the ground. And so unless and until Democrats start to do that, all this discussion about philosophy and direction of the party don't mean very much.
He's got his work cut out.
Yeah, absolutely. Also, just to note that this is an organization that the DNC itself was hacked in the last year and was completely rocked by that hacking and is simply an organization that is back on its heels and needs to recover just simply as an organization, never mind the Democratic Party more broadly.
All right, well, we're talking about the Democrats and the Republicans tonight. Amy, you wrote this week about what you call divided America, and you looked at how different groups of voters see President Trump differently. Give us a taste of that.
Well, Judy, you know this quite well. Usually when a president comes in, he's only been in a month, he has something called a honeymoon period. This president didn't even really get a weekend at Niagara Falls. We went from being a very polarizing candidate for president to being a very polarizing president. But to be fair, I went back and I looked and I said, well, where was President Obama at this point, not at this point, but in his last month of his presidency? And we were almost as polarized then by race, by gender, by education. And what we've seen with President Trump is those same fault lines we saw on the campaign trail. If you are white, if you are male, if you did not attend college, you have a stronger approval rating than if you're female, if you're non-white, if you attended college. They're a little bit bigger, these gaps, than when President Obama was in office. But the bottom line is Donald Trump didn't invent polarized America, but it is certainly as polarized, if not a slightly more, than even where we were a year ago. Or less than a year ago, a month ago.
And it seems like 100 years ago or a minute ago. I can't tell which.
Both.
But Tamara, you got a close-up look at this. You were on the ground in St. Louis, Missouri this past week talking to voters about
Yeah, and I talked to a range of voters. What really stood out to me is I interviewed 3 Trump voters, and they have 3 sort of different views of President Trump already. You have sort of the base core voter who is a factory worker who lost his job about a decade ago, and he loves everything Donald Trump is doing, can't get enough, and loves it every time there's a bad headline because he thinks Donald Trump must be doing something right. His wife, on the other hand, feels like the president moved a little too fast with the executive orders. And then another Trump voter I talked to said that, you know, he really figured that the president would be more presidential when he came into office, and he wants him to have a thicker skin and stop tweeting. And he says, you know, we're looking up to you with our eyes, hoping that you are going to help us. You know, we need to see more from you. And then I talked to one other voter who voted for Hillary Clinton, and she feels like he's not her president and that she's invisible.
So, it's interesting that already these voters are forming strong, clearer impressions of this president.
Yes, that he, in that first month.
It's not fuzzy, in other words.
It's not fuzzy. They have strong views of him, and it's already sort of setting in after just a month in office.
Tamara Keith of NPR, Amy Walter on the road in Miami. Thank you both.
Welcome.
And looking ahead, please join us tomorrow night for special PBS NewsHour coverage of President Trump's address to a joint session of Congress. It begins on Twitter at 7 p.m. Eastern and on your local station at 9 p.m. Next, a preview of a new PBS documentary series, Africa's Great Civilizations. Audie Cornish of NPR's All Things Considered has our look.
The history of the African continent, home to 15% of the world's population, remains a mystery for many. Historian and Harvard professor Henry Louis Gates Jr. admits in his youth it was a place he rarely considered. Now he has a new PBS documentary series that reveals great moments in the continent's pre-colonial history. It's called Africa's Great Civilizations. He joins me now to discuss that work. Henry Louis Gates Jr., welcome to the program.
Thanks for having me on.
So you've tackled all kinds of African American history, but this goes all the way back, way back to cave paintings. So what was the genesis of this idea?
I wanted to do a comprehensive history of Africa, and this is it. Been thinking about it for 5 years. Took us a year to shoot. We went to 12 African countries, and it's exhilarating. 6-hour series on 200,000 years of African history. When I was growing up, Africa was a place to be avoided, even for black people. Our images of Africa came from Tarzan and Ramar and Sheena of the jungle. And we were embarrassed about Africa.
Yes, you talked about the effort to kind of distance, right? It was used as an insult within the community.
You black African? Oh my God, that was like the N-word. But all that changed for me. It began to change in 1960 when I was 10 years old and 17 African nations became independent, and I had a very smart geography teacher, Mr. McHenry, our only male teacher, and he was very much into current events, and I was very much into being a good student, and a lot of the current events featured these emerging new African countries, and so I memorized romantic-sounding rhythmic names like Moise Chambe and Patrice Lumumba and Mogadishu, words like that, and I became fascinated with Africa, slowly but surely making my way to Africa when I was 19 years old.
I think we can hear that in your introduction. I want to play a clip of that.
Okay. Africa is the home of the world's most ancient civilizations. Far too often, Africa has been thought of as isolated and static, but nothing could be further from the truth.
The roots of every family tree trace here to Africa. And so does the history of civilization.
In this series, we'll be going on a journey through 200,000 years of history. We'll explore great cities built along Africa's extensive trade networks, discover art of unparalleled beauty and technical brilliance, and marvel at thousands of years of breathtaking architecture.
What struck me watching this is that you use words like merchants and trade and engineering. It seemed like you were really trying to stress the achievements here. Why do you think those achievements have been obscured?
I think the achievements of Africans have been obscured, first of all, because of slavery. 12.5 million Africans were shipped across the Atlantic Ocean between the 16th century and the 19th century. 12.5 million Africans shipped to enslavement in the New World. And then, after 1884, which was the conference in Berlin, when European powers sat down, looked at an empty map of Africa and basically carved it up like you carve up a pizza pie. And they go, you're Spain, what do you want? You're Italy, what do you want? You're England, what do you want? You're King Leopold. He personally got the Congo. So they had to create a fiction of Africa as an empty place or a static place full of primitive people who were stuck in time. And those were ostensibly our ancestors. But the pre-colonial world knew all about Africa. There wasn't a moment really since the ancient Egyptians when Northern Africa, the Mediterranean world, and the larger world was not in touch with African civilizations, with some part of Africa. The Red Sea was a highway. The Nile was a highway. The Sahara was a highway, particularly after the domestication of camels, and the Indian Ocean highways. The emperor of Great Zimbabwe ate off porcelain plates that came from China. That's the 13th century. I mean, it's incredible. Most of Europe's gold between 1000 AD and 1500 AD came from West Africa. All of our history was stolen from us. We were robbed of the history because Europeans wanted to justify an economic order which depended upon our ancestors' exploitation.
It's almost as though you are taking these stories out of the footnotes of history and elevating them.
It's an excellent metaphor. We need, for the facts of African and African-American history to be a normal, naturalized part of the curriculum, to be moved from the footnotes up into the text. Black History Month is great, but we need every day to be Black History Month. And what's that mean? When you take a course in the history of civilization, Africa should be there as well. And I'm not talking about mythic claims that won't stand scholarly scrutiny. I mean facts about the history of the world, which every educated person should know about. Knowing your history is empowering, and Africa stands poised on the birth of a resurgence, a new renaissance. As you said, 15% of the world's population lives on the great African continent. And knowing about this rich and splendid history will be crucial to the individual self-esteem of every African and to the collective, as it were, sense of itself of the African people.
Henry Louis Gates Jr., thank you so much for speaking with us about this project.
Thank you for having me on the program.
The series runs tonight, tomorrow, and Wednesday at 9 p.m., 8 Central on most PBS stations. Now to our NewsHour Share, something that caught our eye that might be of interest to you too. February is Hockey is for Everyone month in the National Hockey League, and one woman traveled all the way from Abu Dhabi to join the celebration. The NewsHour's Julia Griffin caught up with her on the ice.
Though you wouldn't expect it given her country's climate, Fatima Al Ali is an ace on the ice. The 27-year-old is from the United Arab Emirates and is shattering preconceptions of what a hockey player looks like. Al Ali picked up a hockey stick for the first time just 6 years ago, but her puck handling skills have already earned her a spot on the UAE's women's national team. In November, those skills caught the eye of former Washington Capitals star Peter Bondra.
I played the game professionally for 23 years, and if I try to do the stuff which she does, I mean, I have to learn, and I'm not sure if I could be accomplished, just to be honest.
Bondra was so impressed by Al Ali's abilities that he posted a video to Twitter saying, "She has better hands than me." That video went viral, and a few weeks later, he surprised Al Ali with a dream trip to meet the Caps. Coincidentally, that's her favorite NHL team.
February is a month of hockey for everyone. I think you'll be a great ambassador for this.
For soft-spoken Al Ali, taking the ice with the team was a thrill of a lifetime.
It's not expected. It's just unbelievable.
Over the next hour, the rink was a level playing field, and she wasted no time sliding into drills and scoring goals. Al Ali's idol, Caps captain Alex Ovechkin, praised her talents.
She's going to be famous, and she's going to be a star of her country.
But Al Ali doesn't just impress male counterparts here in the U.S. She also holds her own back home as a men's game referee.
I had 2 fights before coming here.
first one ended up bad. I got punched in the face, but I kept, I finished the game. And then the second fight, they told me how to break the fight, so I was just pulling them from the pants, so.
No matter what side of the puck she is on, Al-Ali hopes she can be a role model.
I hope that I can inspire enough people, or at least women, have a dream and just go make it come true.
Fitting advice for pursuing goals from a woman who excels at scoring them. For the PBS NewsHour, I'm Julia Griffin in Washington, D.C.
And an inspiration for a lot of little girls looking at hockey. On the NewsHour Online right now, we take a look inside the secret process that is supposed to prevent mishaps at the Academy Awards like the one that occurred last night over the Best Picture Award. We also have a trove of conversations with the filmmakers and artists behind the award season's most acclaimed movies. You can find all of our coverage in our Beyond the Red Carpet series on our website, pbs.org/newshour. And that is the NewsHour for tonight. On Tuesday, a reminder, we'll have special coverage of the President's speech to a joint session of Congress. I'm Judy Woodruff. For all of us at the PBS NewsHour, thank you, and we'll see you soon.
Major funding for the PBS NewsHour has been provided by BNSF Railway, XQ Institute,
and by the Alfred P. Sloan Foundation, supporting science, technology, and improved economic performance and financial literacy in the 21st century.
Supported by the John D. and Catherine T. MacArthur Foundation, committed to building a more just, verdant, and peaceful world. More information at macfound.org. And with the ongoing support of these institutions. This program was made possible by the Corporation for Public Broadcasting and by contributions to your PBS station from viewers like you. Thank you.
You're watching PBS.